All right. So, Coach, obviously, first year with the Raiders this year. Just tell me, what has it been like stepping into this program, and what are you excited for this season?
Well, stepping into the program hasn't been much of a change really at all. I've been the offensive coordinator the past 4 years, and and Chase Bowman was the head coach, and we've just kind of flipped roles. He's now an assistant, and he took an administrative job at the school, and so the transition has been actually very, very seamless. So it's been really good.
Perfect. And then, so obviously last year, Logan Neiswanger, absolute athlete, really, really good player. You lose him. What's it like? Are you finding like different players that are stepping into roles, leadership roles, or even just his output on the field because he was on both sides of the ball as well.
So obviously, you spoke of Logan Neiswanger, but there was really a core group of seniors that, along with him, obviously, Logan and Cole will get the most accolades because of the numbers they put up. But they had a good core group of seniors around with them that they all contributed really well. And with the loss of them, yeah, obviously we're losing a lot of production. So we're not trying to put pressure on obviously our starting quarterback Hayden sitting here. We're not putting pressure on him that he needs to put up 3,000 yards of offense this year. We're just asking each of our guys to do their job. That's part of our culture. Is you talked about leadership. So hopefully we just got a lot of guys that have bought into our culture, and they kind of just are following that idea of our culture. So we talk about TRW, the Raider way, and the middle letter R specifically is talking about your role. So that's what we're looking for, is each of them understand. All these three gentlemen sitting here to my left, they're all going to have a big role. But there's a bunch of other guys. We got 61 on our roster, and they might not all be Friday night roles, but every one of them has a role in the team. So that's our job as coaches, to try to put them all in the best position possible to thrive in their role. So we're not asking one guy to we're not going to replace Logan Neiswanger this year.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then obviously moving from the small NBL small up to the NBL big, what does that put on your horizon? And what are your thoughts about that?
And again, a very common question by all the media outlets, which is fine. But I've answered it the same way. In football, it's really not much different. We were in the small school division the past few years, and we still played, the Tri-Valleys and the Sheridans in our crossover games. So in terms of that, like the only real opponent that's really different for us in terms of big school that we haven't really seen would be John Glenn. So we've already played, like I said, the Tri-Valleys, the Sheridans, Philo, Riverview. We've already played them. So John Glenn will be the one that's really different, the kind of the unknown. I'm the head baseball coach there as well. That transition from small school to big school, that's where it's really going to be felt. Where now you're playing these teams not just once a year, but twice a year. That's going to be the big transition.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have had back-to-back seasons of 6-5. What do you want to do better this year? What are you working on to improve that record from the last 2 years?
So all we can do is just continue to work. We got a group of guys that they come in every day. They are, they're motivated. They're fun to be around. I think they enjoy being there, which is a big thing. We all know in the preseason that have been around football and gone through football, that preseason could be a grind. It really hasn't felt like a grind. So in terms of like the improvement, it took a long time. Like I said, I've been there for 4 years with Chase, and it took a long time to get the program where we're at now. There's still a lot of work to get where we want to get. We want to be in the conversation every year for, league championships and playoff runs. But you can't, I'm trying to think. I think the last NBL title was 2000. So, that's a long time ago, obviously. And even further than that, we've never won a playoff game in the school's existence. So, those are two things. You can't go, year to year NBL titles, you got to win an NBL title again. Year to year playoff runs, you got to win a playoff game first. So it's a process. So those would probably be the next two biggest things in the process. Let's win an NBL title again. Let's win the school's first ever playoff game.
Yeah, speaking on the playoffs, what kind of things can your returning players, and players can speak on this as well, that experience that playing in that playoff game gave them? How can you take that and apply that to not only the regular season, but as you work to get back towards the playoffs? What lessons and things like that can you take from playing in that game last year?
I mean, I can answer that first. As a coach, I would say that, like I said, it's been a long process to get where we're at. Being in the playoffs back-to-back years, it should solidify the fact that they belong. Like it took a long time to get to a program where we just felt like we even belong. These guys know they belong. So that's what I would say as a coach, and they can add to that as well.
Yeah, I think it's just been a motivation. We've used that in the off season in the weight room. Just motivation, getting back, because we know we can go up there and compete with them guys. So just getting ready to get back to the playoffs.
It definitely makes us work hard.
Then I can go again. So, Coach, obviously not a conference game, week 1 against Marietta. What have you seen with that matchup? Could you just go into that a little bit?
Well, we just got film just over the weekend. So they're, a wing T team. They're big up front. They bring pressure on defense. So we're going to have to be prepared. Something that's been good for us. We scrimmaged Fort Fry, who's a wing T team as well. So hopefully that will help with that, because wing T teams are just so few and far between in the day and age in football, the spread football day and age we're in now. You just don't see them all the time. It's kind of a different thing. So that's kind of good that we had that scrimmage, and hopefully those things will translate to positive things come this Friday night for us.
Yeah, and for Coach, and if any of the players, what have you noticed, from scrimmages and preseason that makes this year's squad just different from last year's?
We're a lot younger. They were a lot younger.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, being a lot, you said a lot younger, right? Does that kind of just bring more excitement, or are you guys really excited to go after it, gain experience? Can you expand that a little bit more?
Yeah, that's absolutely
Anything else?
Okay, so we talked about playoffs and stuff like that. Not really, we're paying attention to it, but it doesn't seem like it's the main focus. What's your goals to start the season? What do you guys want to do to start off on the right foot?
Again, speaking from a coaching perspective, I've told my players this before. I've told other media outlets before this. I don't care if we're 10-0 or 0-10. Our culture, TRW, has to be first and foremost, and those things will take care of themselves if our culture's right. And again, like I said, they've been a joy to be around so far. So they bought into that. We're going to be, as they alluded to, we're a little young in some places and inexperienced, but that's any program. You go through those transitions, those ups and downs. So we've just got to be able to, fight through that and take the guys that have been there, the guys that have, been there for playoff games and been there previously to lean on them.
So it was the most important part, you would say, translating that to the younger players, keeping that alive.
Maintaining culture, absolutely. Which again, that's a big part to, the gentleman that you're seeing sitting in front of you.
Yeah, speaking to you guys now, like we were just saying, how important is it to really step in and fill those leadership roles that maybe you lost from some seniors last year? How's that been so far this season?
It's been kind of difficult, but we're picking up on it at the same time. Losing them guys, it's big, but we got a lot of guys, younger guys, coming up and filling that role. So it's been a pretty good process.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.